Hello and welcome back to the Armchair QBs. It's the Quick Pick Show, week 11. Let's do this, Dan.
After you.
Okay, Atlanta at New Orleans. New Orleans with Jameis. Oh, we're going to get to bet on the picks. But New Orleans favoured by 5 points in this game.
That's a bit too much for me, given the unknown that Jameis is there. Atlanta have got their shit together on offense. Don't get me wrong, they're still difficult on defense, but given the upheaval on the other side of the ball, I'm willing just to throw caution to the wind and not go with a favourite for a division leader against a previously poor team within the division. So I'm strangely, against my better judgment, going to take Atlanta plus the points.
Reasonable. Atlanta coming off a bye as well. Yeah, good logic behind that. I'm still going to take New Orleans because I just want Jameis to break my heart. I know he's going to do it, but I'm ready for it. Next game, Cincinnati at Washington. Washington are favoured by 1.5 points.
Yeah, I mean that's 1.5 is essentially pick 'em, but if I'm going to get points for Cincinnati playing against a poor team, I'm still going to do that. I appreciate that we've ridiculed them for their bad offensive line play and their bad defense, but I think that Washington are just getting through the season, and I think that there's more of an emphasis on the up and coming Bengals rather than the Redskins just being static and staying where they are.
Football team, Dan.
Yeah, sorry, the football team staying where they are. I don't particularly agree with who they're distributing the ball to between J.D. McKissick and others. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals here.
Okay, I'm all for Cincinnati in this one. I'm a bit concerned with the Washington front four against that offensive line. I think they really need to sort out their protections here and try and keep Joe Burrow as clean as possible. But otherwise, I just think Cincinnati are a better team apart from in that one area.
I mean, to me, this is either going to be like 13-10 or it's going to be 42-38. It's going to be one or the other. And I'm probably, if it was a closer game, maybe I would go with Washington, but I think there's going to be quite a lot of points in this game, so I'm going to go say that Cincinnati would win a shootout.
Okay. Detroit at Carolina, there is no line for this because we don't know if Matthew Stafford is going to play or not. He had a thumb injury from the escape against Washington. What do we think the line will be on this one?
Well, we've been relatively kind of conservative in guessing lines, but I think probably given that Detroit won and Carolina lost, and the way that they lost and McCaffrey's probably still out, I think Carolina will probably be the underdogs, getting maybe about 3 to 5 points. And so maybe we say that Carolina gets 4 points, and I would take Carolina.
Yeah, if they're getting 4 points, I'll take a Carolina +4 on this one. I still think Carolina are scrappy. I know we talked about that in the review show, and are they really? They've had a couple of bad losses, but I just think against this bad Detroit team.
It's 5. I mean, they've lost 5 in a row. So
yeah.
I think that the idea that they would come in anything other than dogs to this game would be crazy. Maybe 4 points is too high. I don't know. But if I can get 4 points for Carolina, I'm certainly taking that.
Yeah, let's take that. New England at Houston. New England are favoured by 2.5 points here.
2 bad defenses against offenses of questionable character, depending on the week that it is. You can make points for each offense as to, well, Houston have come on a bit over the last couple of weeks. So they're scoring more points than the Patriots have done. So, but at the same time, you can say that the Patriots are, been running the ball. They're not putting it on Cam Newton's shoulders to throw the ball because they don't have receivers to do it. And Damian Harris has been doing pretty well, and Houston's run defense is questionable at best.
It's awful.
That being said, I'm going to be spiteful and I refuse to pick the Patriots, which is not a sensible pick, but I'm not going to pick the Patriots. I'm going to take Houston. I'm going to say that Deshaun Watson with his legs causes enough of a problem.
I think Deshaun is the better quarterback in this, but this comes down to how the Patriots control the clock and move the ball up and down. And the Patriots' offense is just a nightmare for this Houston defense. I don't think you can say the same about the Houston offense for the Patriots defense. So that's why I'm going to take New England in this one. I just think that rushing attack from New England is not good for Houston.
Yeah, there are many picks that I begrudge you, Calum, and I think you're being daft. And of course, sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. But what you've said there, I can't. It's exactly the same as what I've said. But I'm just, I'm not being rational about this one.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Philadelphia at Cleveland. Cleveland are favoured by 3.5 points here.
Cleveland all the way.
Yeah.
Until Philadelphia, and this will be the game that I'm talking about. But until Philadelphia do anything to, I mean, they might score 20 points, which they've done over the last couple of games, and Cleveland have been in very, very bad weather games the last 2 games, which is always a question. But their defense is pretty bad, Philadelphia, and both Chubb and Hunt went over 100 yards in poor weather. So I think that the run game against Philadelphia's defense is going to be too much, and I'm quite happy to take 3.5, and I'm going to take the full fat 3.5. I'm not even going to shave it off.
I think 3.5 is too low for this matchup. So I'm taking Cleveland. It's a bit of a no-brainer here. Pittsburgh at Jacksonville. Pittsburgh are favoured by 10 points here.
Now, what have we learned about Pittsburgh away and double-digit dogs?
I was just going to say this. I am. We did throw out the stat. He I think he's covered once when he's been a double-digit favourite away from home. So I am going to take Jacksonville.
I'm going to take an extra half point because I'm doubly a coward, and then I'm going to take Jacksonville.
Okay, I'll give you Jacksonville at plus 10.5.
Even though on paper, with the number one, number 2 defense and an offense that can score points on a similar level team of Jacksonville and Cincinnati the week previously, this makes no sense in my brain. But I'm going with the stat and it being away from home, and who knows what happens. But 10.5 points, bugger it, let's take it.
Yeah. Right. Next game is the battle of the declining quarterbacks. Tennessee at Baltimore. Baltimore favoured by 6.5 points here.
You know what? I don't even think I have the energy to think about this game right now. The Tennessee still have no pass rush. They're in a complete downward spiral. Ravens at home, a little bit of a revenge game from last year's playoff loss. The Ravens are the better team just now, barely, because both have been such on a bad run. So I'm just going to take Baltimore at the points.
Okay. I am going to go with Tennessee here. I think Vrabel pulls it out here and just gets their season back on track. I think, Tennessee know that they have to win this game, and it's. Yeah, that's the only reason I'm going for this, because Baltimore know they can't win the division. Tennessee know they have to try and match Indianapolis going forward. So I take Tennessee here. Miami at Denver. Miami favoured by 3.5 points. You hate Tua, so I'm assuming you're going with Denver.
No, well, I mean, Denver does have the 11th ranked defense on DVOA, but it has the 32nd ranked offense. So Brian Flores and that defense and special teams will get extra points here. So Miami to win.
I'm just all on this Miami team. I think they win the next 3 games. So, and I actually think this could be a bit of a pound for Denver because Drew Lock has not played well. So this could be a game where Tua's stat line gets a bit inflated because of the short field that he gets. In terms of touchdowns. New York Jets at Chargers. This line it's a line. Like Chargers favoured by 9 points. Jets are coming off a bye though, so Adam Gase has had a full week to game plan for this.
Well, now that you put it that way, the Chargers by 20. Yeah. Yeah, I spit on any positivity that I had about the Jets getting any sort of win. So I'm pretty satisfied they're going to lose, and given it's 9 points, fuck it, why not? I mean, if I pick the Chargers and this is the game that they lose, I would love it if Lynn was fired before Gase. that would just be the kind of 2020 coaching carousel at its finest right there, if that's what happened. But anyway,
Yeah, the coup
Chargers,
de grace.
yeah, Chargers -9.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Jets. I just coming off a bye. I think no, they might pull it out. I don't know who's starting for them at quarterback. I don't know if it's going to be Flacco or Darnold.
It's gonna be Flacco.
Nah, it's too 9 points is too high for a 2-win team.
No, I appreciate that, but remember we talk about kind of being in one-score games being really, really important. When was the last time the Jets were in a one-score game, realistically? I know it was Patriots, but I mean, come on, that was a ridiculous game.
Yeah, no, this is the game. This is the game where they're in where they get into a one-score game. I just don't want to take the Chargers at 9 points.
I just don't want to take the Jets at 9 points. So
yeah, there we go.
I've taken the Jets plus 19, and they shat all over me. So I'm not gonna balk at 9.
Yeah, Dallas at Minnesota. Minnesota are favored by 7.5 points here.
Well, for a head coach that was once mentioned as a potential successor last season to Jason Garrett, Zimmer is seemingly quite happy where he is and building for the future and trading away pieces that he has had and such like. They've not been convincing against the Bears, and that was a good defense. The Dallas, a terrible defense, but 7.5. I just think coming off a Monday night game, this is going to be a game where Kirk Cousins manages to throw 3 picks before he somehow throws for 350 yards. So I'm going to take Dallas in the points just because I just don't believe in I don't believe in that run game being sustainable for the next couple of weeks.
Kirk Cousins plays exceptionally in cities where there are mega churches, so I am taking Minnesota. Kirk Cousins is going to have a big game in Dallas.
You told me it was in Minnesota.
Shit, it is. It's in Minnesota. Oh, god damn it. Is there a mega church in Minnesota? I don't think there is.
Well, no, if there was, your stamp
Dallas. I'll take Dallas.
Oh, okay. For very good reasons.
Yeah. Yes. The holiest. Green Bay at Indianapolis. Indianapolis are favored by 2.5 points here.
Can't be. I mean, I'm all for a bit of bait, but that's a bit much. I just think that the offense for Green Bay is worth more than 2.5 points. So even if it was to be flipped the other way and Green Bay were the favourites by, let's say, 3, that 5-point swing, I would still be quite happy to take that. So Philip Rivers, static. I'm not saying that the Green Bay's good against the run, but I'm certainly happy enough that they can pressure quarterbacks. And again, that's the one piece of kryptonite, or the one thing that I'm always willing to accept that Philip Rivers can't really do. So Green Bay with points. I think it'll be rare that you'll ever get that again this season. So yeah, I'll take Green Bay in the points.
Yeah, I like Green Bay in this one. Aaron Rodgers in a dome, coming off a disappointing performance, which I think is pretty fair to say against Jacksonville as a team, not Aaron. I'm not singling him out for
first name terms.
Yeah, we're BFFs. I actually set him up with Danica. I like Green Bay in this one. I like Green Bay to win this one bigly, as a former president once said.
Use your proper words.
Yeah. Kansas City at Las Vegas. Kansas City by 6.5 points here, the favourites. This is a tough one because that first game was really good.
And this is a trap for those bettors that are wanting to kind of, extrapolate that game in Kansas City and the win that the Raiders got into the Raiders doing something here. Kansas City less than a touchdown. That's that's really, 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 really tempting. So I don't know, where are you going with this one?
Well, so I think back to that game, the first game of the season. The Raiders had to play perfectly to win that game. I don't think Mahomes was quite at Mahomes' levels, for that game, and now he has really rounded into form. He's the clear front runner for the MVP. Kansas City 6.5 points against anyone at this moment. I'm taking Kansas City.
Yeah, I think less than a touchdown. You just have to slightly edge towards Kansas City at this stage in the season. I mean, Kansas City are the best offense by statistically, and obviously not by win-loss record, but still statistically they're the best offense. And the defenses for the Raiders and Cincy are ranked 14th and 21st respectively. So I just think Kansas City will have too much momentum and too much firepower for the Raiders for this game. So yeah, I think I'm going to take Kansas City, even though I'm a big fan of the Raiders this year.
Yeah, we both are, and hopefully our praise finds its way to Las Vegas and we get invited out to a Las Vegas game next year. Maybe in a suite beside Mayock. We can just sit and chat the shit. That's my dream. Last game, Rams at Tampa Bay, Monday Night Football. Tampa Bay are favoured by 3 points here.
Yeah, I'm going to take Tampa. If it's only 3 points, I'm going to take Tampa at home. The rushing effort of the Rams last week has seriously knocked my confidence in their ability to do anything against number one ranked defense. So we managed to rattle Jared Goff, which would think that Todd Bowles will be able to do, and we might have a similar situation to the Green Bay game. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay in the points.
I not to be contrarian, but I am going to go with the Rams. I think this is going to be a bit more of a defensive battle than an offensive battle, this game. And I really like how the Rams defensively match up against the Tampa Bay. I know they've got all those weapons, but you've still got to deal with Aaron Donald. And yeah, I'm just happy to take the Rams here, plus 3 points. I still think Tampa maybe win it, but I think this is going to be a really close game.
May the odds be ever in your favour.
I don't know. We've actually disagreed on a few games here, so it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top next week.
4 ties.
Yes. Well, we can but hope. Thank you very much for listening to the Quick Pick Show. We will be back with our Week 11 review. Dan will have his breakdown of the Arizona defense. There may be PowerPoint slides that we will distribute to all our listeners. But if you can like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, leave a review of the show on Apple and Spotify, and spread the word of the Armchair QBs. And we will see you next week. Goodbye.